start with just listening to Shabad and don't get into what does it mean or what it's saying, just the feeling and the experience of listening to it.
Alustame sellega, et kuulame ühte Shabadit ja süvene sellesse, mida see võiks tähendada, lihtsalt see kuulamise kogemus oluline.
So if you can just close your eyes.
Kui saad sulgeda oma silmad.
And practice sinking down into your ribcage, into your lungs, into your heart.
Lasku oma sidemusse, oma rinnakorvi, südamesse, kopsudesse.
Okay, I will listen to this Shabad.
Hamari Pyari Amritdhari Hamari Pyari Amritdhari Guru Nimakhana Manate Pyari re Guru Nimakhana manate Pyari re Guru Nimakhana manate Pyari re Hamari Pyari Amritdhari Hamari Pyari Amritdhari Guru Nimakhana manate Darsana parasana sarasana harasana darsana parasana sarasana harasana ranga rangi रंग रंगी प्यारी अमृत धारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी हमारी खिन्नरम गुरगम हरदम नह जाम खिन्नरम गुरगम हरदम नह जाम हर कंठ नानक उर हारी रे हर कंठ नानक उर हारी रे हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी हमारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी हमारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी रे हमारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी रे हमारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी हमारी 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 प्यारी अमृत धारी गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी हमारी नमन ते टारी हमारी नमन ते टारी हमारी हमारी प्यारी अमृतधारी गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी हमारी प्यारी अमृतधारी 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 हमारी प्यारी अमृतधारी गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी रे गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी रे गुर ने मखन मन ते टारी रे हमारी प्यारी अमृत धारी अमृत धारी अमृत धारी हमारी प्यारी
I guess most of you know the Shabd Guru, when we use the term, we're referring to the blessing, the gift of the Adi Sri Guru Granth Sahib, which is the, you could say, the scripture of the Sikhs, right? I think it's supposed to be.
teavad, et kui me räägime Shabd Gurust, siis üldjuhul me liitleme Sirigurudnatsõgile.
It's a very big topic. I just spent 4 days in Italy on this topic. You can go on and on and on. It's very deep and profound. So we just have an evening to bring up some highlights. Yeah.
Suur ja sügav teema, ma just veetsin seda uurides 4 päeva, aga praegu võtame siis ülevaate.
What is Guru?
Mis see Guru?
It may mean different things to different people.
See võib erinevate inimeste jaoks erinevaid asju tähendada.
I invite you to think about what we might call the master's stick.
Ma kutsun teid üles mõtlema sellele, et mida me võiksime nimetada meistri kätikeseks.
So we have the rider on the elephant, and he's got a stick to make sure the elephant goes where he needs to go and does what he needs to do.
Me võime kujutada siinkohal ette elevandi seljas ratsutajat, kellel on pulk käes ja selle pulga abil ta juhib seda elevanti ja see läheks siin nagu tarvis.
Another understanding is we might call a reference of reverence. Reference we know is not just a reference like a library book, it's a reference, but a reference that you have. Reverence means like more than respect, something higher than respect.
Et auvaklikkusest midagi, respektist midagi veel kõrgemat ja see on justkui viide sellele midagi kõrgemale.
Okay. Let's say you have a situation and you ask various members of your family, but there's one person, maybe a grandparent, maybe a therapist, who's the one that you finally really listen to, you know? Who's the one that, in spite of all the different opinions.
Perekonnas on mingi situatsioon ja sa tahad nõu küsida ja siis sa küsid nõu selle käest, kelle arvamust sa päriselt kuulad.
You could say that becomes your supreme reference, yeah?
Et sellest saab sinu ülim referents.
The one that you really listen to in the end.
See, mida sa lõppude lõpuks tõeliselt kuulad.
Thank you for sharing the chat. Okay. So in a way, it's a voice of your higher consciousness.
Igal juhul on see sinu kõrgema teadvuse hääl.
Even to the extent, sometimes we know, but we don't want to know that we know, or we forget that we know.
Kuni selle tasandini välja, et mõnikord me teame, aga me ei taha teada, et me teame. Või unustame ära, et me teame.
You might ask like a mentor or someone like that, you know, but you know in the end what they're going to tell you.
Et sa võid küsida näiteks mõned mentorilt, aga sa justkui tead juba ette, mida ta sulle räägib.
So it's just confirmation in a way.
Nii et lõpuks
reminding you of what you already know.
Ja tuletab sulle meelde seda, mida sa juba tead.
Another quality of Guru we refer to is the concave mirror effect.
Teine Guru efekt on peegli efekt.
It turns you upside down and gives you the path back to yourself.
Et see keerab su pea peale ja näitab sulle teed sinu endani.
Out of your head into your heart, you could say.
Teed välja sinu peast ja tagasi südamesse.
So we're not saying I follow the Guru. It's not like I'm just a follower. You know, Guru's going somewhere and I'm walking along behind.
Et ei saa rääkida sellest, et ma järgnen Gurule, et tema justkui sammub ees ja siis ma kõnnin tema järel.
It's almost a paradox in a way. I refer to the Guru and the Guru refers me to myself now.
Et see on justkui paradoks, et mina viitan Gurule ja Guru viitab minu satnaamile.
So then we say Shabd Guru. So what is Shabad?
Aga me räägime Shabd Gurust, et mis on siis Shabad?
Actually, simply speaking, Shabad just means sound.
Väga lihtsalt öeldes Shabad tähendab heli.
So then if we say Anahat Shabad, the sound that is created without something hitting something, Anahat Shabad.
Anahat Shabad tähendab seda heli, mis on loodud niimoodi, et miski ei puutu millegi vastu.
And when we say Shabd Guru, then we apply the sounds of the Guru. What does the Guru echo back to me? What sound is that?
Ja kui me räägime Shabad Gurust, siis me räägime sellest, mida Guru mulle tagasi peegeldab, mis see heli on.
It's worth thinking like Guru Mukhi, okay? Guru Bani is meaning the word from the Guru.
Bani tähendab Gurust pärinevat sõna.
A Guru Mukh is somebody who turns to the Guru.
Ja Guru Mukh on keegi, kes pöördub Guru poole.
Turns to look in that mirror.
Pöördub, et vaadata sellesse peeglisse.
Instead of looking in the mirror of social opinion,
et vaadata näiteks ühiskondliku arvamuse peeglisse.
The shopping mall mirror.
Või ostukeskuse peeglisse.
Actually the mirror that gives you the truth. Yeah?
Aga sellesse peeglisse, mis annab sulle vastuseks tõe.
And although some of it is going to be familiar and a reminder, like, yeah, I kind of knew that already.
Ja kuigi osa sellest saab olema sulle tuttav, sa juba justkui teadsid seda vastust.
But there's another level in which you're learning a new language, actually.
Aga seal on ka teine tasand, millel sa õpid tegelikult uut keelt.
It is a very particular kind of language, not just like learning French or even learning Hindi or Punjabi. It's not about that.
Ja see tegelikult üsna erilist sorti keel, see ei ole nagu hindu keele õppimine või punjabi keele õppimine.
When you learn a new language, something really foreign. Let's say, okay, if you're a Scandinavian and you hear several Scandinavian languages, you might say, oh, I recognize some of those words. It's not so unfamiliar.
See on justkui sarnasesse keelegruppi kuuluva keele puhul, et mõned sõnad tunnevad ära, et kõlab sulle tuttavalt.
People in Sweden might identify a difference about the people in Norway or in Finland, but somebody in the south of Europe is just going to say, well, the Scandinavians, because there's a commonality.
Siis kindlasti teeb vahet või näeb, et rohkem on norrakad, kes soomlastest erinevad. Aga keegi, kes on kusagilt lõuna poolt pärit, ütleb, et need põhjamaalased.
So it's a really big step. It's not just learning another French, Spanish, Latin language. Yeah, it's another world.
Nii et see on väga pikk samm, see keele õppimine.
What goes with that is then not just a new vocabulary, but also a new concept, new ways of thinking, another way to see the world.
Et see ei ole mitte ainult uus sõnavara, vaid uus viis maailma näha, uus kontseptsioon.
So that's kind of what we're implying here. Learning to understand the Gurbani is new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing the world, concepts you may not have considered.
Nii et Gurbanist arusaamise õppimine viib sind kontseptsioonideni, millest ei tule teadmine olla.
Now, there's a lot. The Guru Granth Sahib is 1,430 pages. It's a lot.
See on 1432 lehekülge.
But there's a lot of repetitions, some of the main ideas that come across.
Aga seal on päris palju kordust. Et on mõned peamised ideed, mis läbi jooksevad.
We were living in a dream.
Me elame unistuses.
And then there's a way to wake up.
Ja et on olemas tee, kuidas ärgata üles.
Yoga, very common in India at that time. So the Guru actually questions that and says, what is the true nature of yoga? He doesn't say yoga is wrong or bad, but what is the true nature of yoga?
Guru esitab jooga kohta küsimuse, mis sel ajal oli Indias väga populaarne, et mis on tõeline jooga.
And it has a lot to do with what we know from the Japji, conquer the mind to conquer the world.
Ja see on väga tihedalt seotud sellega, mida me Japjist teame, et saa võitu oma meele üle selleks, et valitseda maailma.
And is conquer the mind, is not kill the mind, not destroy the mind.
Ja see ei tähenda, et tapa oma meeled või hävita see.
It's like an animal that you need to tame.
See on nagu loom, kes vajab tartutamist.
Take the command of.
sa pead tema üle
The
valitsema.
animal should serve you, not that you serve the animal.
Tema peab teenima sind, mitte sina ei teeni seda looma.
It would be like having a pet in your house that rules the house, you know, the pet is the king kind of thing.
See on sama nagu sul oleks kodus koduloom, kes sinu majas valitseb.
And the mind tends to be like that for a lot of people. The mind is, you're running after the mind. It's taking you here, taking you there. You don't have the command of the mind.
Ja väga paljude inimeste jaoks olukord just selline ongi, et meel viib meid siia ja sinna ja sa ei suuda oma meelt kasutada.
So Shabad just means sound, but another use of the term Shabad is referring to like a hymn. So let's say hymns of the Guru. I could also say Shabads of the Guru. It's the usage of that term.
Shabad tähendab ühelt poolt heli, aga teiselt poolt ka hümni. Nii et me võime rääkida ka guru-hümnidest, kui me räägime Shabad Gurust.
So there are many Shabads which are actually just trying to capture your mind's attention. Literally, oh my mind, come here, sit down, listen.
Ju Shabadid, mis räägivad meelega ja kutsuvad üles meelt, et tule istu siia minuga.
Some other essential messages from the Shabads. Shabd Guru.
Sisuliselt punktid Shabadist.
The oneness of God.
Jumala üks olemine.
It's not about this God, that God, or who's God, and of which religion, but it's a oneness.
Ei ole seda või teist Jumalat erinevates religioonides, vaid Jumal on üks.
And from institutional religious point of view, quite a revolution. The Guru emphasizes a lot that we can know the God from the inside. It's not only a God outside.
Ja üsna revolutsiooniline religiooni institutsiooni mõttes on lähenemine, et Jumal on sinu sees, mitte kusagil väljaspool.
And also that the God is compassionate.
Samuti see, et Jumal on kaastundlik.
Not just an angry or punishing God.
Et ta ei ole karistav Jumal ja vihane Jumal.
God is within, can be met, can be known.
Jumal on sinu sisemuses, ta on võimalik puhata ja ta on võimalik tunda.
The good fortune of the human incarnation.
See on inimeseks sündimise suur õnn või kaevus.
Things are possible for the human that are not possible if you're not embodied in the human body.
On asjad, mis on võimalikud ainult inimkehas.
And the purpose of the life is discussed.
Ja ka elu eesmärgist on juttu.
The idea of reincarnation is introduced.
Tutvustatakse taassünni mõistet.
And karma obviously connects with that.
Ka karma sellega seotud.
And the possibility to get out of the cycle of transmigration.
Ja võimalust sellest ümbersünnitsüklist või ümberpaiknemistsüklist välja saada.
That doesn't mean like, okay, I'm out of that cycle, now I can fly around the cosmos and do whatever I like. This is not the meaning.
Ja see ei tähenda seda, et ma nüüd pääsen sellest tsüklist ja hoian kusagil kosmoses.
But actually coming to have a meeting with God, merging your light of your spirit and the light of God, coming together.
Vaid see tähendab sinu valguse ja Jumala valguse üheks saamist.
We might call it union through communion.
Me võime seda nimetada ühenduseks, ühenduse kaudu.
Okay. So the Guru also then tells us about the obstacles. What are the challenges?
Räägib meile ka väljakutsetest
About
ja takistustest.
self-doubt.
Räägib meile enesest kahtlemisest.
The way the five senses become the quality that steals our energy, steals our attention, our prana.
Sellest, kuidas meie viis meelt võivad muutuda selleks, mis varastab meid energiat.
And our prana.
ja pranat.
Yeah. The nature of the ego.
Ego iseloomust.
And the consequences of things like self-importance, pride.
Ja see tagajärg, selliste asjade tagajärgedest nagu uhkus ja enesetähtsustamine.
Slander, gossip, and cynicism.
Küünilisus, tagarääkimine, mis see on, laimamine.
Okay. And then what can support us to make this progress?
Ja nendest asjadest, mis saavad meid toetada selle arenguteed.
The company we keep.
Seltskond, millest me liigume.
Seva.
Seva.
Remembrance, Simran.
Meenutamine, Simran.
Practice in japa.
Praktika ja kordus.
Clean body, clean mind.
Puhas keha, puhas meel.
Okay, and then some other qualities are highlighted.
Mõned kvaliteedid on veel esile toodud.
Truthfulness.
Tõe austamine või tõene olemine.
Okay. Love and bhakti.
Armastus, bhakti.
The right quality of fear.
Õiget sorti hirm.
Meaning fear of God, which may need some explanation.
Ja see tähendab Jumala kartust, mis vajab teatavat selgitamist.
Let's connect fear and faith.
Ühendame omavahel hirmu ja usu.
If I have fear of snakes, it's because I actually have faith that snakes are dangerous.
Et kui ma kardan madusid, siis tegelikult ma usun, et madu on ohtlik.
I believe in snakes.
Ma usun madudesse.
And their power.
Ja nende võimesse.
Yeah. So there's a line from Guru Nanak saying, when you have fear of God, you have no other fear.
Guru Nanaki tsitaat on selline, et kui sinus on Jumala kartus, siis ei ole sul teisi hirmusid.
Everyday fear is in a contrast to faith. I have fear of this and this and this and this. And as a consequence of that, I actually don't have faith in God.
Ja igapäeva hirmud on usu vastand. Et kui ma muretsen selle ja selle ja selle pärast, siis tegelikult ma ei usu Jumalasse.
But there's emerging fear of God and faith of God come together as one quality.
Aga on ka kohtumispunkt, kus kartus Jumala ees ja usk saavad üheks.
Which could be perhaps, we can approach that quality by saying wonder or awe, a state of wonder.
Nimetada imestamise seisundiks.
Okay. What else? The Guru tells us of the importance of our breath.
Guru nõutab ka hingamise olulisust või hingetõmbe olulisust.
Non-attachment.
Lahtilaskmise olulisust.
And coming into a state of contentment and peace.
Ja rahulolekus, rahuldatuse seisundisse jõudmise olulisust.
The Guru also highlights the times that we live in.
Ja Guru rõhutab ka neid aegasid, milles me elame.
Which we refer to as the Kali Yuga.
Millest me räägime kui Kali Yuga.
Meaning the dark age or the iron age.
Kui pimedast ajastust või rauaajastust.
And this is highlighted, also implying that many of the old techniques of sacrifice and rituals, they are not effective anymore. They're not working like they used to work.
Ja paljud vanad rituaalid ja ohverdused ei toimi enam samamoodi, nagu nad varem toimivad.
And so the Guru refers then to the yoga of Nam.
Nii et Guru viitab hoopis Naami jogale.
Most commonly that's understood as doing some kind of japa of name of God.
Kõige tavalisemas mõistes saadakse sellest aru nii, et see on Jumala nime kordamine mingisugusel viisil.
And there's a lot of benefits from that practice. Focus, concentration, repetition. Yeah.
Ja sellel praktikal on väga palju kasutegureid. Fookus.
There are benefits from that practice. Focusing and repeating.
Fookus, kordus.
Yeah. But that is a technology, that's not about a state of being.
Aga see on tehnoloogia, mitte see seisund, milles sa oled.
We might do a japa just like a parrot does a japa, but not necessarily achieve a state.
Me võime korrata midagi nagu papagoi lihtsalt kordamise pärast, ilma jõudmata sellest seisundist.
It's just a robotic, automatic practice.
Lihtsalt robotlik, automaatne praktika.
And in that sense, the benefits are minor. There are still benefits, but they're minor.
Ka sellel on kasutegurid, aga need on üsna väikesed.
That's where bhakti love comes in. Am I with my practice? Is my devotion involved in that practice?
Ja siin me jõuame bhakti olulisuse juurde, et kui suur on minu pühendumine.
That helps to evolve the japa into a state of being.
Ja see aitab arendada seda korduse mõju edasi selleni, et sa jõuad mingisse seisundisse.
Another very important concept that the Guru talks about is the grace, that I don't achieve that full state of realization only by my own effort. My effort counts, but it also has to be met with grace. It's never just by my own hand.
Guru räägib ka graatsiast, mis on inglise keeles grace, ja sellest, et sa ainult oma pingutusega ei jõua sinna välja, kus sa jõudnud.
Let's pause for a moment. Are there any questions or comments?
Kas praegu on küsimus või kommentaare?
Just recap, what have you understood so far?
Kuidas te siiani aru olete saanud?
Guru is introducing you to this new language with new concepts, new understanding.
Need on uued mõisted, uus arusaamine.
And there are many dimensions to this understanding.
Ja selle juures on mõistmisel on mitmeid dimensioone.
If I really, I don't know how you would express that, really take it on board, we say in English, I really drink that, absorb that, yeah?
Et kas ma võtan selle täielikult endasse?
Then it has implications for every field of my life.
Siis sellel on mõju kõikidele minu elutakkudele.
How I live in this body, how I live with this body.
Kuidas ma elan selles kehas, kuidas ma elan selle kehaga.
How I live with others.
Kuidas ma teistega elan.
My relation to the cosmos in general.
Minu suhe kosmosega.
Everything is implied.
Kõik puutub asjasse.
Yes.
Mida tähendab, et ainult oma pingutusega ma ei jõua sinna, kuhu ma jõuda tahan?
What does it mean that it doesn't that my own effort is not enough?
Are you saying you don't recognize that your own effort is not enough?
I think you were saying.
I know. I'm just asking. Do you recognize that your own effort is not enough?
Kas sa mõistad seda, et sinu enda pingutusest ei piisa?
It's like I'm trying to swim up the river, but the river is flowing the other way. Then I'm not going to get very far up the river.
See on umbes nagu see, et kui ma jões ujun vastu poolu ja juhi poole või teisele poole, siis ma tegelikult väga kaugele ei jõua.
Very concretely, there are many forces around me which are, I may be with them or them are with me or not.
Et minu ümber on palju jõudlusi, millega ma võin kas koostööd teha või nad on minu vastu.
So I may try to achieve something, but whether we blame it on the climate or the planets or negative projections from other people or my own, whatever, there's so many things that are impacting on me all the time.
Nii et ma võin üritada midagi saavutada ja süüdistada igasuguseid erinevaid nähtusi, selles, et ma kohale ei jõua, aga minust väljaspool on väga palju jõudusid, mis seda kõike mõjutavad.
My ancestors,
Minu esivanemad,
my DNA,
minu DNA
and on and on and on.
ja nii edasi.
The food I eat,
See söök, mida ma söön,
chemicals in the air or the water.
vee ja õhusaaste,
The list is a long, long list.
väga pikk nimekiri.
How much is really just by my own hands?
Kui suur osa on see, mis on päriselt ainult minu kätes.
I don't take it to mean there's nothing I can do.
Et ma ei viita siin sellele, et ma ei saa mitte midagi teha.
But often the effort we think we need to make is not actually the effort that would make a difference.
Aga väga sageli see pingutus, mida me arvame, et meil on vaja teha, ei ole see pingutus, mis loob muutuse.
I'm making an effort to go upstream, up the river.
Mina pingutan, et vastuvoolu ujuda,
I could make an effort to try to feel which way is the river going.
aga ma võiksin võib-olla pingutada selle nimel, et aru saada, kuhu poole see Kirit voolab.
It's a different kind of effort.
See on täiesti teistsugune pingutus.
See, it's not just that I surrender to the river.
Et see ei ole mitte see, et ma lihtsalt annan alla seda.
Then maybe the river is going to just throw my canoe on the rocks and smash it to pieces.
Võib-olla kui ma lähen allavoolu, siis jõgi viskab mu kanuu kividesse ja see puruneb tükkideks.
So I'm paying attention to the current. I'm navigating, I'm negotiating.
Nii et ma pööran tähelepanu sellele jõele, navigeerin seal, pean taga läbirääkimisi.
I am listening and tuning in and feeling what are the forces around me. Where are they going?
Aga ma kuulan ja pööran tähelepanu sellele, millised on mingi ümbritsevad jõud.
Okay. So it's a combination.
See kombinatsioon,
What I bring
mis on see, mida mina
and
otsustan
what's happening in my environment.
ja mis toimub minu ümber.
Yeah. And we find a harmony or disharmony.
Ja me leiame neist kas harmoonia või disharmoonia.
Another reference the Guru gives that this term is sahaj. Sahaj.
Üks mõiste veel, millele Guru viitab, on sahaj.
Not easy to find this one word to translate that.
Seda on mulle sõnaga väga lihtne tõlkida.
But the idea of intuitive ease, naturally flowing easily, intuitively, like that.
See on midagi, mis on nagu intuitiivne voogamine, loomulikul viisil kaasaminek.
Because of this alignment happening.
Sellepärast, et sa oled joondatud.
And one of the biggest things that when we say I'm making the wrong effort, that's also connected to mind. My mind thinks this is what I should do and this is what I should not do.
Ja kui ma räägin valet sorti pingutusest, siis see on samuti meelega seotud. See on seotud sellega, mida mu meel arvab, et ma peaksin selles olukorras tegema.
And the Guru is saying, mind, hold on, slow down, listen.
Ja Guru ütleb, et meel, pea kinni, kuula korraks.
It's trying to change, you know, like a kaleidoscope. Is that what you call it? That thing you look through and then the colors change and then you go, oh, wow, now I see something I didn't see before.
Et see on nagu kaleidoskoop, et sa pead seda aeglaselt pöörama, et näha, kui tekib uus pilt, et milline see on.
Because one of the consequences of living in this world
Sest selles maailmas elamise üks tagajärgi on,
the Guru calls it Maya.
see, mida Guru nimetab maiaks,
We can also call it the magnetic field.
aga me võime nimetada seda ka magnetväljaks
We can also call it the mind field.
ja me võime seda nimetada ka meeleväljaks.
And when the spirit enters into this field,
Ja kui vaim laskub sellele väljale,
so the field of the three gunas, three
mis on
qualities,
ka poole punaväli,
then there is a distortion of our perception.
siis tekib meie taju nihe.
Nothing is what it seems. It doesn't mean everything is an illusion, but it's not what it seems to be. It's a different understanding.
Taju nihe selles mõttes, et mitte miski pole päris nii, nagu me seda tajume. Et see ei tähenda seda, et kõik on illusioon, vaid me tajume mingi nurga all.
Three main illusions.
Kolm põhilist illusiooni.
Relate them to the three gunas and the three functional minds, we say.
seostada 3 gunaga ja 3 meelega.
Negative mind, tamaguna, the
Negatiivne meel, tama,
illusion of separation.
eraldatuse illusioon.
Positive mind, rajaguna,
Positiivne meel, rajaguna.
is that nothing, how to put it, that what we see is just the surface. We don't see underneath, the waters. We don't see it.
See, mida me näeme, on kõigest pealispind. Me ei näe vee alla.
You look in the water and you see a reflection, but you don't see the depths.
Kui sa vett vaatad, siis sa näed peegeldust, aga sügavust sa ei näe.
So Maya is producing this superficiality of life.
Nii et Maia loob seda pealiskaudsust.
And the other major illusion linked to Sattva-guna and the neutral mind.
Ja neutraalse meele sattva-gunaga seotud 3. suur illusioon.
The confusion about permanence and impermanence.
On lõplikkuse ja ajutisuse ja kestvuse illusioon.
Continuity and discontinuity.
Et jah, ma ütlesin juba sõna kestvuse ja kestvuse.
We relate to things which are discontinuous as if they are continuous.
Et me peame neid asju, mis ei ole ajast kestvateks.
And we forget that which is continuous.
Ja unustame ära selle, mis on päriselt kestev.
And it's very immediate, we might sit here and say, yeah, we understand that none of this is continuous. Yeah, we know.
Ja see on justkui väga kiire mõistmine, et jah, muidu ma saan aru, et see miski siin ei kesta.
But actually how we live it is as if it will be continuous.
Aga see, kuidas me seda elame, me elame seda viisil, nagu see oleks kestev.
Okay. And then the Guru refers us to the 4th state. So beyond getting out of this distortion into the Satanam, into the reality, is called the 4th state.
Ja Guru räägib meile ka 4. seisundist, mis on kõige selle ülene, selle maise ülene.
Yoga of Nam, Satanam, Nam.
Ja see on Naami yoga, Satnam.
Nad yoga may be a technology that can take you to the yoga of Nam.
Naad yoga on tehnoloogia, mis võib sind viia Naam yogasse.
Nam is not only about the recitation of a name.
Naam ei tähenda ainult nime retsiteerimist.
My true name can also translate as not only my identity,
Minu tõeline nimi ei tähenda üksnes mitte ainult minu tõelist identiteeti.
okay, but that's another understanding, right? Well, by saying meditate on God's name, I'm saying meditate on God's identity.
Et kui ma ütlen, et mediteeri Jumala nimel, siis ma viitan sellele, et mediteeri tema olemusel.
Okay, and then take it to another level. Your true name is also your true identity, is also your true nature.
Ja viies selle veel järgmisele tasandile, sinu tõeline nimi on sinu tegelik identiteet ja sinu päris olemus.
Meditate on the nature of God.
Nii et mediteeri Jumala olemusel.
Yoga initially meaning yog, so that means connect yourself to that nature.
Ja yoga tähendabki ühendumist selle olemusega.
It implies identify yourself with God.
Ja see tähendab, et identifitseerib samasta ennast Jumalaga.
And we know this mantra, God in me and me and God are one. I identify with.
Mantrat, et Jumal on mina ja Jumal oleme üks.
I'm not born from Maya, I'm born from God.
Et ma ei ole sündinud Maia illusioonist, ma olen sündinud Jumalast.
What is born from Maya is my temporary belief about myself.
See, mis on sündinud Maiast, on minu ajutine uskumus iseenda kohta.
But what is my true nature?
Aga mis on minu tõeline olemus?
What is God's nature?
Ja mis on Jumala olemus?
Can I recognize my nature and God's nature is the same?
Ja kas ma suudan aru saada sellest, et minu olemus ja Jumala olemus on üks ja sama?
Which would be like saying my light and God's light is one light.
Mis on sama kui öelda, et minu valgus ja Jumala valgus on sama valgus.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Kas kellelgi on veel küsimusi või kommentaare?
How would you describe meditating on God's nature?
How would
you describe meditation on God's nature?
Kuidas sa kirjeldaksid Jumala olemuse ja mediteerimist, sellele mõtislemist?
I'm not going to try to describe God's nature.
Ma ei hakka proovima kirjeldada Jumala olemust.
What you're asking is, what is the way to meditate on God's nature?
Aga see, mida sa ütled, on see, et kuidas Jumala olemuse üle mõtiskleda.
Before going into that, let's recognize actually the Guru, the Shabd Guru, gives many descriptions of God's nature, actually.
Enne kui me selle juurde läheme, on vaja aru saada, et Shabd Guru annab päris mitmeid kirjeldusi sellest, mis on Jumala olemus.
For those of you here in the room, you might remember the book we read this morning. It went through many names, which each one implying the quality of God, actually.
Need, kes praegu siin ruumis on, võib-olla mäletate täna hommikust hukkamit, mis käsitles erinevaid nimesid ja läbi selle Jumala erinevaid olemusi või erinevaid tahke.
And the Shabd Guru is often quite paradoxical because it says, God, you are indescribable, and yet it goes on recounting many qualities of the indescribable.
Ja Shabd Guru on tegelikult üsna vastuoluline, sest et ühelt poolt ta ütleb selgelt välja, et Jumal sa oled kirjeldamatu ja teiselt poolt on seal järjest kirjeldusi sellest, milline Jumal on.
So that can be a start.
Nii et siit võiksime alustada.
Fearless,
Hirmuta,
without enemy,
vaenlasteta,
beyond the time,
ajaülene
and yet in the time,
ja samas ajaliselt täpne,
permeating everywhere,
läbistab kõige
creatorable, destroyable,
kõige looja, kõige hävitaja
and on and on and on. The list
ja nii edasi ja nii edasi.
quite infinite, actually.
Üsna lõputu.
Yeah. So, what would you do? You take one of these qualities.
Nii et mida sa siis teeksid, võttes ette mõne nendest kvaliteetidest?
And you sit with it.
Sa istud koos sellega maha
And you breathe it.
ja hingad seda endast.
Thought becomes a feeling.
Ja mõttest saab tunne.
Feeling can become an emotion.
Tundest võib saada emotsioon.
Which is interesting. We could say, can you get emotional about it?
Mis on päris huvitav, sest et me saame siit tuletada väljend, et kas sa saad selles osas tundeliseks muutuda.
Maybe you have a favorite song.
Võib-olla sul on lemmiklaul,
Several favorite songs.
näiteks mitu.
But one that really touches your heart and even gets to your guts, you know?
Aga üks selline, mis tõeliselt puudutab su südant ja läbistab sind.
Maybe it brings a tear to your eye. Not necessarily of sorrow, but just unmoved. Yeah?
Võib-olla toob pisar silma, mitte tingimata kurbusest, aga lihtsalt pingutusest.
And so then this is emotion, right? An emotion. The song makes one emotion.
See laul muudab mind emotsionaalseks.
But then in the morning you're reciting some sadhana mantra.
ja hommikul sa lootsid mulle sadhana mantrat
and you're not getting emotional.
ja sul ei ole emotsiooni.
But you could.
Aga võiks ju olla.
And what would happen if you did?
Ja mis juhtuks, kui sul oleks?
Can you imagine how much that would change?
Kas sa kujutad ette, kui palju see võiks muuta?
Did you not just going, Ekongkad Satanam Katapuri, but you're really like, Ekongkad, you know, like, wow.
Et kui sa paneksid kogu oma emotsiooni sellesse lõitsimisse.
Dive into it.
Sukeldu sellesse sisse.
And transform everything of your life.
See võib kõik sinu
Why you say, you say Bani, Guru, Guru is the Bani. You might have heard that. Word is the Guru, Guru is the word. And then we say, Ang Sang Vahe Guru, every cell. So why not every cell of me is saying that verse?
Nii et miks mitte jõuda selleni, et iga mu keharakk ütleb seda sõna.
I don't say that to attack or to judge anybody. I'm just sharing this. What would happen if you did that?
Ma ei taha hinnangut siin anda, ma lihtsalt esitan küsimuse, et mis juhtus, kui minna selleni?
I have the sense that something in us desperately wants that. At the same time, we're also afraid somehow to go through that transformation.
Ma tunnetan, et meis on miski, mis väga tahaks seda, aga teisest küljest meil selles hirm.
Because it will change everything in your life if you do that.
Sest et see muudab kõike sinu elus, kui sa seda teed.
Yeah, nothing can be the same.
Mitte miski ei ole enam sama.
It's a kind of death.
See on omamoodi surm.
Everything that is not that dies.
See ei ole see, sureb ära.
And anybody who's been through a near-death experience will tell you that life can never be the same again.
Ja igaüks, kes on läbi teinud surmalähedase kogemuse, võib sulle öelda, et tema elu ei ole enam kunagi päris sama nagu enne.
I've been out of the field. I've seen things that I would not have seen otherwise.
Ma olen käinud väljaspool. Ma olen näinud asju, mida ma muidu ei oleks näinud.
I know things that I would not have known.
Ma tean asju, mida ma muidu ei oleks teadnud.
And I can't forget that anymore.
Ja seda ei ole võimalik enam ära unustada.
And that you don't need some radical accident or illness to give you that near-death experience, actually.
Et tegelikult sul ei ole vaja mingit suurt õnnetust, mis paneksid seda surmalähedast kogemust kogema.
Those kind of things come along not by your design. Yeah, I didn't intend to have an accident. I didn't intend to have an illness.
Et need sellised asjad tulevad ilma ette kavatsemata. Sa ei plaani endale haigust või õnnetust.
But in the practice of chanting,
Aga loitsimise praktikas
it requires you to initiate. It's not just kind of something that happened accidentally. You have to initiate.
on vaja, et sa selle ise esile kutsuksid, ise looksid selle kogemusele.
Think near for a moment. Just think about near there.
See on nii veel.
Okay. No enemy.
Vaenlast ei ole.
Okay. God has no enemy.
Jumalal ei ole vaenlast.
How many times we think, oh, why me?
Et kui palju sa oled elus öelnud, aga
For
miks
example,
mina?
right? That's like victim thinking, for example. Yeah. Why me?
Sina.
God has no enemy.
Jumalal ei ole
So whatever's
vaenlast.
happening now, it's not God trying to punish me.
Ja see, mis minuga praegu toimub, ei ole Jumala karistus.
God is not against me.
Jumal ei ole minu vastu.
Therefore, God is for me.
Järelikult Jumal on minu poolt.
How can I tap into that experience?
Kuidas ma saan selle kogemusega ühendust võtta?
It does start with mind. Very much starts with mind. Am I ready to believe God is my friend? God is not against me. therefore God is form.
See algab meelest väga tihedalt meelega seotud, et kas ma suudan võtta omaks selle mõtte, et Jumal ei ole minu vaenlane, vaid on mu sõber.
Everything that has happened, that is happening, that will happen is for me.
Kõik, mis on juhtunud, mis praegu toimub ja mis tulevikus tuleb, on minu kasuks.
It doesn't mean it's always comfortable,
See ei tähenda seda, et see alati mugav on,
but is for me.
aga see on minu kasuks.
Can I take that and never ever doubt that again?
Ma saan võtta selle mõtte ja selles enam mitte kunagi kahelda.
This is just one of so many. It's a diamond, yeah? The Shabd Guru is like a diamond with so many facets.
Shabad Guru on nagu teemant, sellel on väga palju tahkusid.
So many treasures.
Nii palju väärtuslikkuse sees, palju varamusi.
Any one facet could take me to the nucleus of the diamond.
Ja ükskõik milline tahk võib mind viia tuhmani.
Any one window, yeah?
Ükskõik milline aken.
You just take that one. You could spend your whole life with that.
Sa võid valida ainult ühe ja veeta sellega kogu oma elus.
Hold on to it. Simran means remember. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that.
Simran tähendab mäletamist.
Simran is not about japa. Japa is a different thing.
Simran ei tähenda kordamist.
This Simran Sukhoy Sabha Dukujai. Whoever will remember, peace and happiness will come and the suffering will go.
Kes iganes hoiab meeles, selle juurde tuleb rahu ja õnn ja õnneks kaob.
But what are you going to remember?
Aga mida sa meeles hoiad?
It's such a powerful formula, that mantra we chant every day. Raki Raknahar. God is for me, so I'm calling on God saying, well then protect me. God responds to that.
Et ma püüan Jumalat ja ta vastab sellele ja kaitseb mind.
Guru ki Pyari pai. I'm going to hold on to the feet of the Guru.
Ma hoian Guru jalgast kinni.
Now, we're talking about Shabd Guru. I'm going to say Guru is a reference of reverence.
Ja kui me räägime Shabad Gurust, siis see on selle ülimuslikku, viide sellele ülimuslikkusele.
So when we say feet of the Guru,
Nii
in
et
case you're not aware about that, it actually means the word of the Guru. That's the actual, it's a metaphor,
sõnast
Yeah.
pühakiles,
symbolic meaning. Yeah.
et see on sümboolne tähendus.
So what does it mean?
Nii et mida see
It
tähendab?
doesn't mean if I will just sit down and hold on to the japji, all my bills will be paid. Something like that. No.
Et see ei tähenda sugugi seda, et istun ja hoian kogu aeg tšapsi servast kinni ja kõik arved saavad makstud.
And this connects to, I give my head to the Guru. It's kind of connects.
Et see on hoopis seotud sellega, et ma annan oma pea Guru kätesse
And the head we connect to mind and thinking.
ja pea on seotud meele ja mõtlemisega.
So the meaning there is, I think as my Guru thinks.
Nii et see varvastest hoidmine tegelikult tähendab seda, et ma mõtlen nii nagu Guru mõtleb.
I'm going to interact with my environment according to that guidance.
Nii et ma suhestun oma ümbrusega selle juhatuse järgi.
And when I do that, things work out. It's like I'm going with the river, you know?
Ja kui ma seda teen, siis asjad hakkavad sujuma. See on sama nagu ma lähen jõega kaasa.
I've listened
Ma olen kuulanud
and now I apply that.
ja nüüd ma rakendan seda.
That's the meaning. Guru ki paripai, karja savarya. The affairs work out.
Ja sinu hirmud saavad lahendatud.
Now, because of the distraction of the Maya,
Sellepärast, et Maia segab,
the next line says,
ütleb järgmine rida.
give me the compassion not to forget, because I'm going to forget. Sure.
Ole minuga kaastundlik ja ära lase mul unustada, sest et ma unustan.
Okay, so that's the question here. Ho apdiyal mano na visari, not forget. My mind, not forget this.
Nii et see on olmekoht siin, mitte unustada.
Then there's a very powerful instruction coming. Sadhajana ke sang bhavjatharyan.
ja siis tuleb väga võimas koht.
It's like a flock of birds. Now they're migrating. One bird on its own cannot cross the ocean.
See on nagu rändav linnuparv, et üks lind ei jõuaks üle ookeani.
Okay, but together, you know the meaning? Flock of birds together, they make it.
Aga parvena koos nad suudavad.
Sadhajana ke sang. Keep that company.
Hoia nende kaaslaste ligi.
What company? Sadhu, ones who have a sadhana. Some kind of discipline.
Nende ligi, kellel on mingi praktika, mingi distsipliin.
Maya wants you just as a creature of habit, not as a person who has a discipline.
Maia tahab, et sa oleksid lihtsalt harjumuste ohver, mitte et sa hoiaksid mingit kindlat joont.
We talked about how the life makes us go. And it's a discipline to stop.
Et me rääkisime sellest, kuidas elu sunnib meid järjest edasi ja edasi minema.
That's actually
the
beginning of discipline. It starts there. Stop.
Distsipliin algabki sealt, sellest kinni pidamist.
Whatever it might be. No more biscuits, no more TV, no more shopping. It's enough. Stop. It's enough.
Iganes see tähendab, ütled lastele, et telekat rohkem ei vaata või et rohkem poes ei shoppa.
Which actually means start coming back to self.
Ja see tähendab, et sa hakkad enda poole tagasi liikuma.
Which then is another facet of the question. How do I start to meditate on that nature? Well, you have to come home.
Siit kerkib järgmine küsimus, et kuidas ma sellel loomusel mediteerin, kui ma samal ajal peaksin koju tulema.
Come back to yourself.
Tulema endasse, enda juurde.
Which requires stopping.
Mis nõuab kinnipidamist.
One of my many little mottos, stop, breathe, feel, and be. Stop,
Peatu,
breathe, feel, and be.
ja ole.
The first puri of the Japji is kind of telling you that. Sochi, like I was saying, oh, you're an intellectual trying to figure everything out. Where does it get you? You try to sit silent, meditate silent. Where does it get you? Stop all this chasing around.
Või justkui rääkis sellest, et mida kogu see mediteerimine ja mõtlemine sulle annab. Lihtsalt pea kinni.
Okay, I'm looking at 3, you eat, still you're not satisfied.
Ikka veel ei ole sa rahul.
Yeah, always you want something more.
Alati tahad midagi veel juurde.
It's the very first thing is telling you, stop.
Tšotši ütleb esimese asjana seda, et pea kinni.
Okay. We've talked about the content of the Shabd Guru, but now we want to start to explore the experience of the Shabd Guru.
Et praegu me oleme rääkinud Shabd Guru sisust, aga edasi tahame rääkida kogemusest.
How important is it to understand the meaning of a Shabad rather than only listening to it? In other words, does knowing what the Shabad says also deepen or amplify the experience of listening?
Küsimus oli selle kohta, kas on oluline teada Shabadi sisu ja mõista, millest ta räägib, et kas see muudab kogemuse sügavamaks.
I would say absolutely.
Et ma ütlesin, et kindlasti on see oluline.
How important, not an easy thing to answer.
Kui tähtis.
But you have a mind, you should use your mind.
Et kui sul meel on, siis sa võiksid seda kasutada.
When we do look at the meaning of the Shabads, many times we can have the impression the Guru wants you to understand something. He's saying, mind, pay attention and listen carefully. Explain that things to us.
Meile meelde, et pööra tähelepanu.
Of course, the quality of bhakti and deep listening, as the Japji tells us, just by listening itself, really true, total, absolute, unconditional listening over a period of time, a lot of deep insight and realization will come to you.
see sügav kuulamine, mis faktist tuleneb, kui sa seda tõesti pikalt teed või täie pühendumisega teed, siis muidugi sa jõuad tulemustele.
So what does that tell us?
Mida see meile ütleb?
It's not dependent on understanding.
See ütleb seda, et tulemuse saavutamine otseselt ei sõltu tähenduse mõistmisest.
That doesn't mean understanding won't help, and it can help a lot.
Aga see ei tähenda, et tähenduse mõistmine ei aitaks kaasa, et aitab kaasa ja väga palju.
But we should also remember, understanding on itself will never be enough.
Aga me peame ka meeles pidama, et arusaamine üksi ei ole kunagi piisav.
Many times people have said, well, I understand, but. Yeah, so it seems like you understand and yet nothing's changed.
Inimesed ütlevad väga sageli, et jah, ma saan aru, aga.
I think this sequence that many of you know, obey, serve, love, excel, it's actually the Japji can be decoded